Hi, this is Lara Massey for the weekly update on my book, Persiadnea's Paradigm, The Devolution. I was just going to start this with talking about why I chose the era I did, which was the 1970s. Well, I have several reasons, but we'll go through ones I can actually remember. The reason I chose the late 1970s, well, it's because, it's the time around the time I was born, and so it seemed like a good place to start. It would help. It's going to help with me going into the next book with time frames. I don't really care for the current era. It's fine, I guess, for kids that were born or raised in this era, but it's not so much me because I'm an older generation. So it's what I know and what I can relate to better. I felt like the subject would be more accepted or not so frowned upon, being that it's based in the 1970s, because some of the subject matters is not what you consider appropriate. It was not appropriate then, it was never appropriate, but I guess restrictions on romances, they vary from generation to generation. So I just thought it would be something that would be more acceptable, I guess. Well, an example would be like the Game of Thrones. If you ever read the books, you know those are some young kids that get into everything that happens there. I mean, they're young, and I don't want to be compared to them at all because that's way off. Then you have like romance, the historical romance especially. You got around 18-year-olds, and that's fine. I mean, I understand that it's, I guess, easier to the mind if you're young and fall in love, whereas getting older, it's less, I don't want to say it's less gross or more gross. It depends on, I guess, how you see things and how you brain formed in accepting issues. So yeah, that does bring up the age issues and the teacher issues. Now, I've never actually had an affair with any of my teachers. There were a couple of cute ones, but it's never been me. This is more the deliberate, just because I felt that it could bring out more character, it can bring out more subject, it can bring out, I felt that it would help bring the story better to life, because I can look at how people take it, and how parents take it, students take it, society and takes it. I can just kind of let my mind wander. So sometimes opening up a taboo subject may be sound inappropriate, but it does sometimes actually allow you to delve deeper and kind of bring out feelings and ideas that you're really not allowed to express and out loud. So it just really kind of one of those things I like to talk about is society and just how repressive it is. And it's repressive today. I know kids are like, yeah, it's not. Yes, it is. I've always had an issue with control and just being kind of told, yeah, you can't do this. And it's always just bugged me. So it's nice to be able to write about it in ways to just stick it to society. I also wanted to, like I've said before, Rebecca's character is complicated. Setting in this 1970s allows me to kind of explore her past and her future. It sounds weird now, but for the series, it's important, because if I said it now, it would. I could set it in any time frame technically, but I just wanted to be able to go to the future one day, and I want, without giving too much away, I want to be able to explore her without, we'll just have to go back to that because I don't want to give anything away. Family in the 70s was still important. I mean, there are divorces, like Sabina's parents are divorced. Rebecca's parents are still together. And I felt that the divorce or not having two parents, and your parents get tired over time. You just really get tired of like trying to raise someone. If you had several kids, you would definitely get tired. So I just wanted to kind of look at that and what I know of relationships and families. So it just helps like with protection with your kids. If there's more than one person, if you can both be part of the family, the mother and the father, as long as you're both actively caring for your kids, I would like to think that they're better protected from making decisions or choices that would normally someone that doesn't have as much of a, I don't want to say restriction, but less likely to face trouble, they might not make those decisions. It just depends on the person, and really it's a personality thing. But family is important, and I really wanted to kind of look into that because I think it is. Religion is still important. This has some religious undertones. I really want to explore God, the archangels, Lucifer, his demons. I just want to really look into kind of like the revelations. It's an undertone. It's not something I specifically look into. But I just wanted to start thinking about it, kind of rolled around in my mind. How is heaven and hell and it kind of affecting people on earth? Because we can say it's a demon, or we can say it's just our personalities or whatever. I just wanted to kind of see it as how they can mix together into this nightmare we call life. All right, and then there's alcohol. Alcohol, I mean, kids, I think today still drink alcohol. They do whatever they do. I just also, you can drink at a younger age then, and I know Sabina is kids in the family way, but and she still drinks. But that's kind of thing in the 70's. They drank, they smoked. They didn't know anything about the health of the child being affected. And so when people, no one said anything, barely anyone's read it, but I wanted to just kind of throw that out there, as that's part of the times. And she's young, and when you're young, you drink. It's fun then. When you get older like me, you're like, eh. And then young marriages. My mom was married really young, okay, hold on. I'm trying to say this. She was actually married younger than Sabina, but marriage, even now, you kind of want to get married and get married young. And today, I guess, we're waiting more. I mean, look at me. But it kind of, when you're in those kind of eras, to get married was important. To get married young, it's like the best way to seal it. So, hey, I'm not going to be part of an outcast in society. And I felt like, I hate to say that the time was more pure. I think every time earlier than the time you were born is probably considered more pure to your parents, to you. And as time goes on, it seems like morality is decaying. Because if you look at the morality of the 1800s versus 1900s versus 21st century kind of thing, there's definitely a shift, but then there really isn't. If you kind of look at each person and how people behave, we haven't changed as humans with regards to personality and how we behave in a society. It's just we kind of change our focus from when this is bad to something else is bad and you accept it. It's like a ping pong game, just whatever. And that's really all I have. I'm sure there's more, but I can ramble on forever. So if you wanted to leave any questions in the comments or just statements, that would be fun. I would like to see what you have to say. And next week, I guess what we're going to do is we'll go into Sabina Lavoie and look at who she is as a character. And I guess what we can do is just see who she is, what are her strengths, what are her weaknesses, how is she relevant, why in the world would she be chosen. It's just, I would love to know that. Well, I know why she was chosen, but I didn't want the normal, you're chosen because of a birthright or any other such nonsense. This is going to be chosen to be because of someone else's actions. It's kind of like how it is. I mean, you have an action, it might not reflect on you, but it's going to reflect on someone else. So that's going to be fun. See you then.